in 2016, I was pregnant with my son, and there was an officer-involved shooting in Charlotte, and 2 different white women came up to me in purest intentions and said, I am so sorry you're bringing a Black son into this world. And that planted a seed that I had no idea was being planted.
Wow.
And I remember navigating through my pregnancy feeling like my husband and I were being selfish and that we hadn't done enough in the world to prepare to be bringing in a Black son, especially into the environment it was, as we hadn't even got to 2020, right? This is up till 2016. And then in 2017, still trying to be the perfect first-time mom, reading to my son, doing all the things that the doctors say you're supposed to do, I started to take inventory of the books that we had. And it seemed like all of the books that featured Black boys seemed to be sports related or Black history related. And I thought, oh, that's just totally what we bought. I went to a HBCU. My husband was a college athlete. And so we just bought these books, but let's go find other books.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment that I learned that less than 10% of children's books feature people of color. Less than 3% feature Black boys as the leading protagonists. And so then how many of those books do you think are about Michael Jordan and Martin Luther King?
Yeah.
And so with that, taking my consultative mind matched with the Holy Spirit, I wrote Black Boy Joy.
Yeah.
And the next day I reached out to my girlfriend and I said, I think I wrote a children's book, but I need an illustrator. And she said, oh, my stepdaughter likes to illustrate. And I was like, yeah, but I think I want something a little bit more professional. She said, just send her the manuscript. And she ended up being a junior in high school at the time, illustrating the book. The next day, and so remember,
a phenomenal job, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Savon Wallace.
Yes.
The next day, so God works in threes for me. I was talking to another one of my girlfriends who said, oh, I have a friend who published it. And by the third day, we had talked. You said yes to me as I was so overwhelmed and just trying to give you my best pitch of this story. And within 90 days, we published Black Boy Joy and gave it to my son. Instead of a birthday party, he got a book.
Yes.
And so that will always be a very special memory in our family.